Cheese9.com is a community-driven creative comedy site. When you first arrive to our site, you're presented with what we call Fiddlestick. Fiddlestick is our name for community-generated comic strips where users build on other user submissions to create a funny comic strip. In Fiddlestick, the first pane in the strip, or seed, is created by the site's creative group. Users submit their own funny panes for the next chapter in the story. The community then votes on the submissions, and bam! The funniest one becomes the permanent pane in the strip. After the voting selects the winner, we open up the next chapter for submissions. Using the site and tools are easy. The images on the screen each represent a comic strip. The stack effect represents the volume of submissions for each strip. Scroll left to right to view strips based on the creation date, or use the filter to change the time frame. You can even drag or throw on screen to change periods. The plus tabs you see at the bottom tell you there are more strips that didn't fit on screen. Click on one and the time scale changes. You zoom in and see more strips. The higher up in images indicates how funny our community thinks the strip is. You can change the filter to only have the funniest one show up. If you find filter settings that work for you, go ahead and save by clicking the default boxes. Mouse over a strip and you see information about it, such as title, rating, and number of submissions. By clicking on one of the strip images, you are taken into that strip. Here you can scroll from chapter to chapter by clicking on the previous or next panes. You can view all submissions for a chapter by clicking on the panes up or down, or using the up-down arrows here. The submissions in a chapter are sorted by how funny the community thinks they are. If you see some you think are funny, rate them up. If you see some you don't think are funny, rate them down. You can only vote on panes and chapters where the rating and submission period is still open. We change this period based on activity, but it's usually 2 to 5 days. You can scroll from strip to strip without having to exit the current viewer. Here you can also create your very own entry by either copying and pasting an existing pane that you will later modify, or scroll to the very end of the strip and click on Create. To create a pane, you'll be taken to our very easy to use editor. Here is an example of copying and pasting. Once in the editor, you can choose from our wide range of characters, props, backgrounds, shapes, and text balloons. By clicking on an image on the left, you will insert it into the work area on the right. Click and drag that image to move it, rotate, or scale it. You can change layers by using the forward and back buttons, or easily flip an object by clicking here or here. If you make a mistake, these buttons will let you undo your work. To delete something from the work area, first highlight it, then hit delete on your keyboard or click the red X. The clear button deletes all content of the work area. Double-click on a character in the work area and you will see you can choose from individual features or different versions of that character. Clicking on a feature on the left replaces that feature on the character in the work area. Adding text is easy too. Use our assortment of different dialogue, thought, and caption boxes. Once inserted, you can just start typing. Notice you automatically get text-specific options at the top when working in a text balloon, and can easily change to bold or italics. Click on the border of the text balloon and drag to move it, and grab the tip of the arrow to move that as well. Once you move the tip, we'll keep it in the same spot for you to make things easy if you move the balloon again, but you can always move it by selecting the end and dragging to the right location. To make things even easier, you can select multiple items and group them so any changes you make get applied to all. You can left-click your mouse, hold down, and drag to create an implicit group, or hold down the Control tab and select multiple items you want to include. If you want everything to be one big item, create the explicit group by clicking on the Group tab above. Some of our advanced features, like ghosting, live up here. You can use this tool to make any part of an image transparent if, for example, you wanted to try to show a character sitting inside this rowboat and holding an oar. Once you are done, click on the Submit button at the bottom right and either use your reserved screen name or come up with a temporary one you want to use for this particular submission. Notice you don't need an account to rate or create anything. If you get a cheese9.com account, you can use your reserved screen name and get credit for all your funny stuff, or just continue on as anonymous. In addition to being able to reserve your screen name by creating an account, you also get your own area on the site for personal creations called My Stuff. For example, if you choose Ted as your screen name, we'll give you ted.cheese9.com. That makes it very easy to send to your friends. Just give them the URL for your My Stuff page and you're in action. When you're logged into your own My Stuff page, click the Add tab to create a new strip. When you create your own strip, you get new tools and much more flexibility in the editor. When creating your own My Stuff comics, you can upload custom images and include them in your strips. Use our cropping tool to refine any images you upload. You can also mix and match characters to create your very own, even funky looking versions and then save them as custom characters. Drill down or up into a character's assembly and edit individual parts. You can also make the entire pane black and white. If a specific Fiddlestick strip is particularly interesting to you, you can select and add it as a favorite. Now you can just follow selected Fiddlestick strips from your own My Stuff page and easily share with your friends what you think is funny. To remove a strip from your favorites, click this tool in the viewer. Take time to play some of our games, like the Drinking Buddy. Add a picture of one of your friends and send it to them, or grab the link and post it on any of the social network sites you frequent. Lastly, if you see a pane or a strip you like, buy it. You can put any of the creations on our site on merchandise such as hats, coffee mugs, and t-shirts. Most of all, have fun and be funny.